How do they wobble?
On a wobbler means they can file you a felony or a misdemeanor.
It was removing a Christmas wreath that the city said had to be removed, and they didn't remove it. So the person allegedly did. And then the other one was that they were told to remove these non-ADA planters.
How is that a wobbler?
Yeah, right, for a hate crime because it's at Scientology. And then allegedly,
Scientology
yes.
saying it.
No. The DA took it as a wobbler for a hate crime. He's looking at 10 years for removing a wreath.
Sold by Scientology.
Yes.
For the money they pass on.
And the other one was that he vandalized a little bit, like kind of was trying to remove the planters that they were ordered to remove. They were fined to remove it. And he just was trying to help them out. And they said that's a hate crime. It wasn't even on their property. It was their planters, but not even on Scientology property. And then removing a sign that they were trying to bring people in.
I'll get these guys. They can look it up right there. All they got to do is go to the
Okay, guys, look up 2003 LA City Charter, Section 271 of the 2003 LA City Charter. But they're saying this stuff, which is absolute, like, just silly stuff, is wobbles because it's a hate crime.
They're using the DA.
Yes, and it's the DA charging. Yes.
How they get off.
Something about 17 too. I read up like.
I don't give a fuck what they're doing. They got no excuse. They can't use the DA on a misdemeanor on anything done. Any misdemeanor in LA City. Go to the websites of the DA and city attorney. It states it explicitly on their own fucking website.
Yeah.
And I got the letter from the presiding judge stating that they're not going to follow the law.
Really?
I got it from the Attorney General saying he ain't going to do the job.
Section 2, what is it, 271?
The Constitution says it's his job. They're blatant criminals.
They are. What's the section again? Of the 2000, because I put it away.
271.
271. So you can't wobble like a hate, and it's not a hate crime to.
You have to have a reason.
You can't just wobble it just because.
But they are.
But that's because this place, look, in
Yeah,
August
271.
24, in the New York Times, Garland's DOJ stated, LA is the most criminal city in the United States that is bought and sold by developers and contractors. And let's not forget that Scientology operates like one of those people.
They do. They own a lot of
They believe
property.
they can buy whatever they fucking want, do whatever they fucking want. Because they're typical religious cults, which all religions are basically cults.
They're not even a religion. They're just a business.
Except religions and preachers that don't say, I'm the only one that knows shit.
Right. But
There are some
they're
that
faking
are
it
not
as a religion.
cults, okay?
Yeah.
Some that try to lead you to some kind of a spiritual thing. But most, it is for one reason. They're going to control your ass and you're going to be a true believer and do whatever they say no matter what. It's being real. Giving a shit about people who have nothing, who need help. I had no idea after working in the hood for years and years and years, being able to walk around in the middle of the night as a white guy. Okay? That Celeste and I were known to that level by everybody, but they appreciated so much what we did in their communities.
Just us.
The pigs even threw me in with a room with over 100 gangsters be beaten to death, and do you know what happened? The 6 leaders stood up and said, George, come and talk to us. Well, the pigs are looking through the door. And I taught hundreds of inmates evidence law, changed all their cases, including a murder one.
Wow. You need help with the wobblers.
His fucking attorney didn't know that he was a former Marine in Iraq, 6 feet from an IED and never held. Is this ridiculous or what? A Marine. 6 feet from an IED in Iraq. Do you know what that does to your brain? He started hallucinating. They gave him no help after being by an IED. Kick him out of the Marines. Gets no help when he gets out. Gets on to crack. Kills this guy. Doesn't run away. So I'm talking to him and I do my normal lawyer thing while I start doing the investigation and stuff. And he'd forgotten that this had happened. I said, dude, do you realize that no goddamn jury in this country's going to send a guy like you exposed to that away for the rest of your life? You're going to get 10 to 15, which means 8 to 10 with good time. You're 25. You're going to be out by the time you're 35. You're not going to rot away like Charlie Manson because you're stupid fucking attorney. So no wonder I got protected in there, huh? Think about this. All those gangsters are going through the jail and they're teaching everybody else. Every guy that came back said, when I asked them, what was the look on your lawyer's face? They said, shock. What happened to your case? Not one was dropped. But I would say that dramatically changed isn't too bad, huh?
To get a wobbler from a felony down to a misdemeanor.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. If they're prosecuting
Well, no,
illegally with the
down to
DA,
fact-
it's gone.
It's gone. That's where it should be gone.
And then the charges get filed on them as a class action. The court system is so corrupt in the state bar.
Yeah,
It was published in Law 360 that we have the crookedest state bar in the United States.
I believe that.
I got the proof. I've been to them a bunch of times. They had to change the rules because I went after a judge's bar license, which means the Supreme Court got involved because who runs them?
Hey, that's bad. Yeah.
And why did the last head of the bar suddenly jump? Because the Girardi shit was coming down and she wanted to keep the retirement package, so she retired.